My name's Donia Youssef, the award-winning author of Monster and Mummy, and I wanted to come here today to share my story, being a cancer survivor, on what happens and support and stuff afterwards. So, just to give you a real life story of a cancer patient. So on April the 21st last year, I got diagnosed with breast cancer. 2 very large tumours had actually spread to my lymph nodes. Mother of 39 at the time with 2 very young children, 18 months and just turned 5. I just thought my world had come to an end. So I'd been out the night before, the first time, and I woke up in the morning and I felt a lump underneath my armpit, which was strange. I haven't had a lump under my armpit before. So then I phoned up my dad, who is a doctor, and I said to him, "Dad, I've got this really strange lump underneath my armpit." And he said, "Have you checked your breasts?" And I was like, "No, because I've just been breastfeeding the child." He said, "Please do that for me and phone me back." So I did. One felt definitely different to the other, but it didn't feel like a lump. And to be fair, I haven't really checked in the past. Breast cancer was just not on my agenda. So I said, phone you back, so it feels really hard, but it doesn't feel like a lump. It just feels like some bone or part of the bone. So never in a million years. He said, "Just go to the GP, please, on Monday and get them to check it out." So I did. So I went to the GP, and the woman was quite concerned. She said, "I can feel 2 very hard lumps and I need to refer you straight away." So then I sort of thought, huh? And I kind of thought, well, I'm not going completely mad. You know, there are lumps there then. So they referred me to Basildon Hospital. I went to the hospital and they did a mammogram. As soon as I had the mammogram, they picked up abnormalities. So there and then they sent me for a biopsy. I went for the biopsy and there was like huge needles, and probably about 6 of them in each tumour now. And so I said to the guy, I said, what is this? You know, this? I didn't know what it was. So they said, there's 50% chance it's cancer. Cancer? So they said, yeah, it doesn't look good, but we don't want to upset you. So from that, I was like, you've just given me my diagnosis. So I couldn't speak. I just cried and cried and cried, and I just kept thinking, how can I tell these kids? My partner was there, he was in tears, and I just for 2 weeks, I couldn't accept or come to terms with it. I just felt I just dealt with death. So I went home and I cried and I researched, and then the more research I did, I kept saying, right, this sounds like I've completely got it. Friends I'd spoken to said, look, if you get a letter, don't worry, if you get a letter early, it's likely it's not going to be good news. So I got the letter early. So I kind of prepared next time I went to speak to the consultants, and I went in, got called in early, and he said, "Donia, it's not good news." Shook my hand, it was all very formal, "You have got cancer." I was like, what? So obviously, because I'd been researching, I was thinking all the grades, so was I 4 or 3? And they said, "Oh, you're a 2." So I thought, oh great, this is brilliant. I'm only a grade 2, I can fight it. So I said, "Thanks very much, I've got all my stuff, I'll digest this information in my own time." And they said, no, you need to sit down. I was like, oh, okay. They go, it's just a little bit more complicated than just removing, you know, the cancer lump. So I said, well, what's going to happen? And they said, oh, well, it's travelled to the lymph nodes, so there's a possibility it's gone to the body. Body? And I was like, oh my goodness. So my grandmother and my great-grandmother both died premenopausal of breast cancer. It obviously had gone to the body. So that's all I kept thinking. I'm going to die. You've just basically given me a death sentence now. So I said, look, we're going to have to start you on chemo. The tumours are very large. There's a 7.5 centimetre tumour in the breast. There's a 5 centimetre tumour in the breast, and there's a 3 centimetre tumour in the axilla. So I was like, oh my goodness. And I couldn't feel any pain in the breast. You don't feel anything. So after that, I said, okay, I'll do the chemotherapy. Does that mean I'm going to lose my hair? I had really long hair. They said, yes, it's very likely you're going to lose all your hair. And I said, well, what about my children? They said, well, you know, we'll support you as much as I can. And I just said, am I going to live?
do everything we can to get you through the first year, but there is a 40% chance you might not make it. So I thought, oh my goodness. So I didn't know where to look or where to turn. I was like, I saw my kids and I just broke down in tears, and I just thought, this is all too much, and I couldn't cope with it. And I thought, I don't know how I'm going to tell the children. So for 2 weeks I solidly cried, and I thought, I've got to adapt or change my mindset. I'm not helping my family here. I'm not helping my children. Let's do something about it. So I did. I changed my mindset, and I decided I wanted to tell my children, because I thought honesty was the best way. I wanted to give them that respect, not to hide something, because I could die, and they need to know. They need to be prepared. So I did a bit of research online because I wanted to read them a book. So when I researched, there wasn't a great deal online to educate or communicate a diagnosis for young children. So I started diarising everything from day dot anyway, because it was my way of therapeutically just getting it out. I read the book to them, and it was like the relief. It was like I've actually told them, and they kind of weirdly accepted it. Obviously the days, the chemo started, the first chemo I did, I was like, great. Everyone said it was really horrendous, and I was like, came back,